Any Sweeney ad is just another litmus test to see if people can actually recognize and acknowledge overt racism and how harmful it can be.
Trying to calm myself, but that would,
Billie Eilish, are you okay, bitch? Why the did you say something like that? For one, you live in America where you are the majority. Everybody looks like you!
The longer that this goes on, the more that I lack the vocabulary to describe how much I hate it. Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. I don't think I've ever worn yellow on this channel before, but I'm sure that if it's not my color, you guys will roast me in the comments because that's typically what you do. Also, my little cherub people, I will be going on tour in October. I will be going to a bunch of different cities around the United States doing live shows, and these shows are gonna be a little bit more personal because I know on this channel I typically don't get super personal and get super deep into Sydney stuff, but during these live events I absolutely will because I want you guys to get to know me a little bit better and vice versa because I really like meeting you and running into you. It's fun. Yes, there will be all of the normal Sydney goofiness that you have come to know and expect, but these shows, like I said, will be much more personal, much more personalized, and hey, I might even show you pictures of when I had headgear. This kind of headgear. I'm not kidding. There will be custom merch at these shows that are only available for the tour. There's obviously going to be tea if you want to buy some in person. There are VIP tickets, so where we get to hang out beforehand and talk and chat and do all that fun stuff, much more personal. There are general admission, there are meet and greet tickets, lots of stuff going on, and right now, if you use code GONDOLA at the link in the description, you get 20% off for you fun early bird people for a limited time. So go and click the link in the description. Come see me live. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you. It's going to be a fun time. All right, let's do the video. So I genuinely hoped after my last Sydney Sweeney video that that would be that and we could all just move on from this topic. But the online meltdown surrounding her has continued to get worse. So, you know, here we are. And as usual, during my travels of the internet, I came to realize that this current progressive doom spiral, so to speak, with relation to Sydney Sweeney is not exclusive to her. Are you surprised? No, you're not. So I thought, let's take a detour from my planned video this week to talk about this because these people are losing their minds over attractive white girls doing their thing all over the place, like dancing or just generally enjoying their lives. And personally, I always find the negative reactions to innocuous comments and behavior so interesting and telling. As most of you know, I really think that anti-white rhetoric has gotten very out of hand. It's absolutely culturally acceptable to be racist towards white people. But now it's to the point where we are seeing white women doing anything together or making comments about their appearances. It sends some progressives into a full-blown meltdown. So, as most of you probably have noticed by now, we are kind of seeing a bit of a resurgence of the 90s aesthetic in advertising and in entertainment, and especially in clothing. And as a result, more and more cute white girls are showing up in media and in advertising, where in days gone by, over the last number of years, we have seen a lot of diversity and representation. I hope you're all currently visualizing Tess Holiday just running across the stage. This was advertising for like the last decade. Anyway, so it isn't terribly surprising to learn that Sydney Sweeney, who is currently a popular actress, has partnered with a bunch of brands. As such, and as most of you probably know, she went mega viral in the last month or so when she appeared in a jeans commercial for American Eagle, where she referenced her genetics, using a play on words to refer to both denim jeans and human jeans. Each ad finished with the line, "Sydney Sweeney has great genes," which was a reference to her appearance, just by the way. The reaction to this was swift and psychotic. It was very psychotic, with women over on TikTok saying this was a Nazi dog whistle, it's an ad for eugenics, that is crazy pants, that's a crazy statement. Of course, then we had the onslaught of articles and left-wing commentators insisting that this meltdown wasn't happening. You know, these people have never been on a young person app a day in their lives. Because how is this your takeaway? But as this issue has picked up speed, people decided it was necessary to dig up Sydney Sweeney's alleged voter registration that apparently shows that she is a registered Republican. This is a lot of S noises and I am struggling. Then videos surfaced of her shooting at a gun range. as you do in the United States. And videos of her working on cars have also started circulating. And this, of course, just resulted in even more unhinged behavior from our friends over on Progressive Island.
Any Sweeney ad is just another litmus test to see if people can actually recognize and acknowledge overt racism and how harmful it can be.
What are your thoughts?
Trying to calm myself, but that would, Sydney Sweeney has good really? Like, the eugenics in that, it's dripping with it, and I'm like, no.
When you saw it, what did you think of?
I mean, I thought, it was disgusting. I think it's just showing what kind of country we're turning into. It's white supremacy at the end of the day. That's what this ad is representing.
As I was collecting these clips and putting them together, I'm thinking, what is it about these people that I think is so crazy? And I think I finally got it. And I think this goes for the rest of the clips that I'm going to show you in this video. I never feel this strongly about really anything. So it's hard for me to really understand someone seeing something that they don't like, something that's actually reasonably innocuous, and then using their little monkey brain to land on the fact that it matters enough to sign into an app, record a video of themselves basically yelling into a camera, and then put it on the internet. What do you made an entire job out of doing that. I know, but the difference between me and those people is that I'm correct. But honestly, being correct about everything all the time it's a lot of pressure, it's a lot to handle. Kind of like finances and debt and mortgages, which is why today's video is sponsored by American Financing. Prices these days, am I right? Everything from groceries to gas is hitting the wallet so hard, and many of us are swiping the credit card just to keep up. I cry every month at my credit card bill. And credit card debt, it's at an all-time high, trapping Americans in an endless cycle of stress. But hold up. There's a way out. Enter American Financing, the family-owned mortgage superheroes who've been saving homeowners for 25 years. Licensed in all 50 states, they're here to help you tap into your home's equity and crush that high interest debt. Why trust them, you ask? Well, they're good at what they do, they've got loads of experience, and their mortgage consultants are focused on actually finding you the loan that works for you. Or if you would just live in a lake, if it was possible. Yeah, that would be your mortgage, just a giant lake. And the savings, yes friends, they are real. Customers are pocketing an average of $800 a month. That's like finding a bunch of cash in your couch cushions every 30 days. No upfront fees, no hidden gotchas, and if you wanted to, you could even close in as little as 10 days. Plus, you might even delay 2 mortgage payments for some extra breathing room. So if you are ready to take back control, then call American Financing now on 888-841-1319. That's 888-841-1319. Or of course, click the link in the description or go to americanfinancing.net/Sydney. So obviously, as I explained in my first video about this issue, which you should go and watch if you want the full context, I will link it in the description box. I don't want to have to rehash old ground. This reaction has absolutely nothing to do with genes, and I'm not even really sure that it has to do with Nazism or some commentary on eugenics. I think that it relates to the fact that Sydney Sweeney fits a specific archetype. Young, white, attractive, blonde. Although blonde is secondary. And to these white, feminist, progressive types, it signals something that they absolutely hate. Privilege, pretty privilege, skinniness. What are some of the other things they hate? Traditional beauty standards, perceived exclusion, perceived inclusion of white people. The list goes on and on. We'd be here for a while. So soon we had the likes of Doja Cat, which, that's the name of an artist, for those of you who don't listen to music that makes your ears bleed. We had Doja Cat mocking Sydney Sweeney.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Then we had Lizzo trying to ride this situation and cash in on it, making her own videos wearing jeans and playing a song alongside these videos that references Sydney Sweeney in jeans. I'm not going to play it for you because, you know, the audio will 100% get copyright claimed. So not today, Lizzo, not today. These clips they're really something, and I want to show you, but I think I'm going to have to ask editing Sydney to put some Sydney singing with the clip so that I can. Firstly, Lizzo, I just want to say congratulations on losing weight before I mock this video, because that's a pretty cool achievement for you. Yeah, I am jealous of the weird girl on the internet who was in the jeans commercials, so I'm gonna ride on the coattails. I like to make people's eyeballs in pain. Haha, yeah, this is so much fun. That's definitely a shot. Okay, I don't want to get banned on YouTube, but yeah, okay. All right, that's enough. That's enough of that. So one of the biggest things that I have taken from this situation is that it is, in fact, according to these people, not okay to be white. And any references to your genetics or to your cultural history or anything like that inherently means that you hate non-white people and you wish for their extermination. Which is a lot of things, but mostly is totally batshit. Because I am not the walking embodiment of a lobotomy, I do believe that basically every group on the planet has experienced discrimination or continues to experience discrimination, because I think that despite how much modern society loves to tell us that we are not entitled to our prejudices and whatnot, people inherently have them, and there's really no getting around that. But as I have talked about in the past, being racist and horrific and horrible towards white people is a culturally accepted phenomenon. People don't lose jobs for it, people don't get reprimanded really for it. It's kind of just a thing that happens that everybody accepts because it's been so normalized. So this entire situation is no exception, and pathetically, the Sydney Sweeney thing is not the only example of this taking place recently. Singer Billie Eilish also recently came under attack because at a show in Ireland in late July, she said that she was from Ireland, like heritage-wise, and that it was cool to be in a place where everyone looks like her.
Well, as you guys know, I'm Irish, so it's cool to be here. Obviously, I am not from here, obviously, but it's really cool to come somewhere and like everybody looks exactly like you.
Yep, that is it. That is the clip. That's what she said that made the internet really upset. She wants to be around her pale cousins. Yep. But these comments also made progressives on TikTok absolutely lose their minds, and for similar reasons to the Sydney Sweeney situation. The left's hyper-focus on whiteness and beauty mirrors the Sydney Sweeney pile-on, and it's less about what she said and more about what she represents.
Billie Eilish, are you okay, bitch? Why the fuck would you say something like that? For one, you live in America where you are the majority. Everybody looks like you. What the fuck is... This is what we mean when we say white people and they biases just be jumping out. Because what type of racist shit is that?
Billie Eilish just had a concert in Ireland, and she said on stage, "It's cool to be in a place where everybody looks like me." Let's examine that claim. Do all these people look a lot like Billie Eilish? Other than maybe being white?
The girl can't even talk about her own face without this apparently being a problem. In my opinion, you know an issue is actually stupid when you find yourself agreeing with people that you would ordinarily completely disagree with.
Do you really think that Billie Eilish has had a pretty much perfect track record of being progressive since she was a child when she first became famous? Do you really think she's now like a racist white supremacist who's doing like eugenics dog whistle on stage in Ireland because she's Irish, of Irish descent, went to Ireland and said, "Oh, everyone looks like me"? Do you really think that's racism? Or are you just bored and you're feeling helpless about all of the really big, scary things that are happening in the world, and you don't feel like you can do anything about that? So you do feel like you can dogpile a young woman who was just excited to see that other people share her very Irish-looking face. It's not just generic white. She plays at many majority white countries and nations, and she doesn't go around saying this every time she's there. She's specifically Irish. She was in Ireland and said, "Oh, everyone looks like me." It's a very specific aesthetic.
Like, why is Jamila Jamil the voice of reason here? Are you guys really that far gone? You know, she's probably right. These people are extremely, extremely bored, but I don't think that they're scared. I think that they get mad about stuff like this so that they can feel something. Jokes aside, once again, it's pretty clear to anybody with a functioning frontal lobe that Billie Eilish's comments refer to her heritage and her ancestry, and the physical traits that come about as a result of that, namely being a pasty creature. And this is something that she has in common with other Irish people, many of whom also happen to be pasty creatures. She didn't write a manifesto about how white is right. She made a comment in an effort to connect with her audience about something that has, up until very recently, been completely understood about people from this part of the world. You know, like freckles and red hair and pale skin. Likening this to white supremacy is a weak, sad attempt at making something out of absolutely nothing. But it's become so part of the progressive response to any reference to being white or European cultures that they'll take an innocuous comment and twist it to make it racist somehow. And the primary reason that we know that most of this is performative is because in 2023, Billie Eilish made the exact same comments, actually directly referred to being white, and nobody cared.
And it's, you know, it's so cool to be here because I'm Irish. Everybody here looks like me. Just really white. Anyway, I love you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so riddle me that one. Then we roll around to all of these sorority TikTok rush videos, which hopefully will make sense to Americans because I don't know what rushing is. Running around quickly on campus. The only frame of reference that I have for university in the United States is American films, like Van Wilder and whatnot. That feels aged. Anyway, these are absolutely not new and have been taking place for a number of years over on the TikTok app. Every time I see these on Twitter, they always have a caption that's like, "We're so back," or "The left hates this." And, you know, while that's definitely a little bit cringe, there is a lot of truth to the freakouts these are causing over on TikTok. And I think that's because, once again, the majority of these videos feature white girls, many of whom are blonde, and seem to be conventionally attractive. Which, of course, is not allowed on the Perpetually Offended app in the year of our Lord 2025. So the comment sections on many of the videos that I looked at here have completely turned into war zones. And the comments are about what you'd expect. Why these sororities are so white. They lack diversity, not a single person of color in sight. Some comments are just straight up vicious, attacking these women for their looks or their perceived privilege. And what's actually really interesting about this, I think, is that a video from 2023 has also been posted on TikTok, where a young man asked women in sororities about diversity, and a lot of them seemed quite afraid to answer. He then asked non-white people why they don't rush sororities, which I hope makes sense to Americans. This is a lot of weird terminology to me. And they basically said that they self-segregate.
We can't really help it if people of color or who aren't heteronormative don't rush, but we want to create like a safe space in case they do.
That led me to my next path, which was to ask people of color why they don't join the traditional frats and sororities.
Are you planning to join a sorority?
Oh, no.
No? Why is that?
What made me very uncomfortable was how white it was. It felt like exclusive or like exclusionary.
I think the perception of like as a whole though become a little bit more negative.
A lot of them didn't really put efforts into diversity, equity, inclusion until like BLM, and even so those representatives were still not people of color.
But then, my favorite, they want to complain about how sororities are not diverse enough. It's like, pick a lane. Just pick a struggle. Anyway, so because I like to ask questions, here is my primary one about all of this. Why is it socially acceptable to dunk on the attractive white women in these situations? Sydney Sweeney, Billie Eilish, these sorority girls, with zero pushback. Why does appreciating European culture, or God forbid, liking how you look as a white person and a white woman, feel like some sort of cultural crime? There's a double standard here. And it's glaring. Sydney Sweeney's jeans ad dropped. It wasn't criticized. It was vilified as eugenics and white supremacy. Lizzo and Doja Cat jumped in, mocking it with memes and raps, and the left cheered. Billie Eilish mentions going to Ireland and looking like the folks in Ireland, cancelled for white supremacy. Sorority girls post cute dancing Rush videos. They're promoting white supremacy. They're not diverse enough. But if we had Black or Hispanic or Asian people celebrating their appearances and their cultures, would the internet have lost its mind? Probably not. And that's really the problem. The left has become so comfortable hating on white people, and more specifically white women in this case, because they view it as punching up. White beauty standards, European heritage, all of this has been designated as privileged and oppressive, and therefore tearing it down feels very righteous. And obviously it doesn't help that advertising and media spaces are moving away from the ugliness that we've grown so accustomed to over the years. So seeing cute white women basically doing anything positive absolutely breaks some of these progressives. And the thing that I personally find so ironic is that many of the people lobbing the most amount of criticism are these liberal white women who love to do this to signal that they're one of the good ones. And as you guys know by now, I find white guilt extremely embarrassing. And I also find it really embarrassing that we're at this point socially. So in the end, and to leave this on a bit of a positive note, the more that these progressives lose their minds and freak out and behave psychotically towards these issues, the more attention they are giving to the women that they're directing all of their ire at. But because every day is Groundhog Day, this is obviously not the last major freakout we are going to see about this kind of an issue towards these kind of women by these kind of people. Now, on that very happy and pleasant note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder to check out American Financing using the link in the description. I know that finances, debt, all these type of things are very distressing for a lot of people. So if American Financing can help you find a solution, they're absolutely worth checking out. Now, I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? Are you on my side of this issue where you were just so ready for these topics and issues to just die and you wish that the left would be a little bit more normal? Do you think that Billie Eilish's comments were secretly racist or maybe even overtly racist? Do you think that it was completely blown out of proportion and what she said was very normal and progressives on TikTok are weirdos? What do you think of these sorority videos? Do you think that they're good? Do you think that they're bad? Do you think that it's weird that they're being criticized like they are? What do you think of the ongoing Sydney Sweeney issue? Are you sick of it? Are you glad that it's highlighting how racist these progressives are? And what do you generally make of this issue overall? As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for the full ride. If you are new here and you are not subscribed already and you would like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel as well as leaving this video a like and a comment because I do read the majority of them and I like hearing your feedback. Of course, in the interim, my little chickadee noodle people, I hope you stay very safe and very well and make good choices and have a wonderful weekend if you're watching this on the day of upload, and I will see your wonderful pretty little faces in the next video.